Quick disclaimer, Learn from Mac is an independent educational project. We are not affiliated with, endorsed by, or sponsored by Apple, or any vendor or product covered in this course. Hey, welcome back to Learn from Mac. I'm Dennis, and today is day 03 of the F5 LTM R4600 Bootcamp. Today we define the actual backend servers. This box will load balance, nodes, pools, and the 3-axis state model that decides whether a member gets traffic. Let's get into it. First, the goal. By the end of this lesson, you'll define named nodes by IP, assemble them into a load balancing pool, configure per member connection limits, and be able to read the health status indicators LTM uses to decide who receives traffic. Here's what you need: a licensed LTM provisioned R4600 management access via TMSH or the GUI, at least 2 backend server IPs reachable from the box, and day 02's VLAN and self-IP work done so the BIG-IP can actually reach those backend IPs. 3 concepts before we build anything. Concept 1, nodes. A node is a layer 3 object representing a single backend host by IP address. Nodes exist independently of any pool. Disable or force offline a node once, and that state propagates to every pool it's in. Name them descriptively like webprod01, so you're not hunting bare IPs in alerts at 2 a.m. Concept 2, pools. A pool is a named collection of pool members that LTM balances traffic across. This is where you set the load balancing method, the health monitors, and aggregate connection limits. Virtual servers point to a pool, not directly to nodes, so you can swap backend members without touching your virtual server config at all. Concept 3, pool members and their state. A pool member is a node IP plus a port. The same node can appear in multiple pools on different ports, each with its own connection limit. LTM tracks each member across 3 independent axes: availability, driven by the health monitor, enabled state, set by the operator, and session state, which controls whether new connections get accepted. A member only goes green and takes traffic when all 3 line up: available, enabled, and user enabled. All right, 3 labs. First, we create nodes in a pool and verify member status. Then we tune connection limits and ratio weights and walk through a graceful drain. Then we do the exact same drain again, this time through the iControl REST API instead of TMSH. Let's get into it. Lab 1, drop into TMSH and create 2 nodes by IP address. Now group both nodes into a pool on port 443 round robin with a basic gateway health monitor. Confirm both members show up and available, and save. Lab 2, set a connection limit and a ratio weight per member. WebProd01 gets twice the weight. Switch the pool to ratio member so those weights actually get honored. Now a graceful drain, disable new connections to WebProd02, existing ones keep running. Check the drain, no new connections, existing ones finishing, and re-enable it once maintenance is done. Lab 3, same drain, this time entirely through the iControl REST API. First, get the member's current state. Now patch it to user disabled, the same graceful drain as before, just via REST. Pull all members at once, this is the shape you'd script into a CI pipeline health check, and re-enable it back to normal. And that's nodes, pools, and pool members built and drained. There are self-check questions on the lesson page worth sitting with, the 3-axis state model especially, since misreading it is a common cause of why is this server still getting traffic during an incident. Take a minute with those. Quick recap before we go. Nodes are independent objects. One node can belong to many pools, and disabling it once propagates everywhere. Virtual servers point to pools, never directly to nodes. That indirection is what lets you swap back-end members safely. A member only takes traffic when availability, enabled state, and session state all agree. Check all 3, not just one. And session user disabled drains gracefully, letting existing connections finish, while forced offline drops them immediately. Know which one an incident actually calls for. All right, that's day 03 in the books. Nodes defined, a pool built, connection limits tuned, and a graceful drain done 2 different ways. That's real traffic management now, not just config. If this was useful, hit subscribe. You won't miss a single lesson. Next up is days 04, virtual servers, your first VS. See you there.